Banners and binnies, ladies and gentlemen, today on the Karna, we have a talented son of the soil who wears many hats, from proud son, dad, and husband to retired Navy chief, entrepreneur, motivational coach, and TikTok sensation. His social media handles include Romeo Love, Chief the Mentor, and Kevin Henry, but I just call him Cuz.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, banners and beanies, fans of the Karna, let's give a big Karna welcome to our featured guest for show number 16, my cousin, friend, and host of our newest segment on the Karna, Build a Better You. Brother Kevin Henry, welcome to the Karna, Cuz. How are you doing today?
Not too bad, not too bad. Look, I'll tell you something. The Karna wouldn't be good if you don't got them banners and them beanie pon the Karna.
There you go. There you go. That's what I'm talking about, man. You know, I like the idea of reconnecting with our lingo, right?
Yes.
And bigging it up. It's important.
Yeah.
It's a part of our culture. It's a part of who we are, and we can't lose that. Who is Kevin Henry?
The youth from Tuckboard that tried despite the odds.
The youth from Tuckboard that tries despite that. That sounds like me, Bana.
That tried despite the odds.
That sounds like me, Bana.
Well,
it's all of me, right?
We kind of blazed a similar trail.
So, because we both grew up in the same neighborhood, Tuckboard Park, New Amsterdam. We roamed the same bushes, as I mentioned, and trenches and streets. We attended similar schools. How did those experiences in Guyana prepare you for the challenges of life as an immigrant in the USA?
First and foremost, I want people to understand that of all the places that I have been in Guyana, Tuckboard Park is a unique place. I have never felt, you know, they say the village raises the child.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it was never more apparent than in Tuckboard. So I want people to understand that,
right.
The family that used to, and the village that raises the child that used to exist in Tuckboard Park, I don't know what it's like now.
Right.
But back then when I was growing up,
yeah,
there was nothing like it.
Absolutely.
You know, everybody knew everybody, everybody took care of everybody.
Absolutely.
That's how Tuckboard Park operated.
I agree.
You know, that's why you have so many people that are successful coming out to Tuckboard Park. But with that being said, roaming the bushes, playing in the trenches, what it did was prepare me for life over here. Yeah. And I could have never dreamed in a million years that doing all those little things, like catching fish,
yeah,
you know, going in people's yard, picking the mango and going and sell it at the jamun and all them thing.
Right.
You know,
right.
Going down by the cocoa, catching crabs from across the creek, catching crab.
Yeah, man.
You know, cleaning the crab.
Yeah.
All those things prepared me for what life is in America.
Yeah,
you understand?
Because what I've learned, not to cut you, but what I've learned, just to interject, is that those things that we did actually gave us problem-solving skills and the confidence that we can create stuff, right? We can make something out of nothing.
Out of nothing.
And that's important. Yeah, so continue. Sorry about that. Mm-hmm.
So when I came over here and I saw what people were complaining about, young people at my age at that time, early 20s, I like, this is what you're complaining about? You got life, as we used to say, you got life in London.
That's right. That's right.
You understand? Mm-hmm. In Guyana, there's no welfare.
There you go.
You know, there's no subsidized housing and all these things.
Yep. Absolutely.
So we knew how to take care of ourselves from quite a young age. I'm talking about 8, 9 years old. Right. You know, we knew how to take care of ourselves. Going to catch fish, you prepare the fish, you fry the fish, all them kind of things. But it translates into bigger life. Yeah. You know, so
these are transferable skills that you can take
transferable skills.
Absolutely.
So it made it quite easy for me. Once I got settled in the United States, it made it easy for me.
There you go. Now, I migrated to the US in '85 What year did you migrate? And what was your first impression?
I came in 2001.
2001, okay.
Yeah. And I don't know if you remember Uncle Sankey. One day he picked me up and he driving me around. And he did it on purpose.
Yeah.
Driving me around Brooklyn. And I'm thinking to myself, they've never shown us this part of the United States of America. The dirty, grimy,
right.
You know, all you saw was the bright lights of Manhattan or whichever big city that they showed you.
Exactly.
You know, that's all you saw. So it tells me what my first impression was. These people hide their dirt.
Yeah. You know, that's important. I felt the same way because I actually came directly to Brooklyn from Europe because I was studying in Europe and I decided to come over here on vacation one summer in my second year. And I came over and of course I landed at JFK. And the taxi cab, just like your uncle did for you, the taxi cab drove me into my sister's. My sister lived in the 40th Street and that would be Snyder, just around Church Avenue.
Yeah.
Utica Avenue is right there a couple of blocks away. So I came into that in 1985, which was kind of the drug epidemic was on.
The height of it.
The height of it, exactly. So again, I was disappointed because, you know, in Guyana, we get all these barrels coming, we get all these jet magazines and so on. And you're like, man, that is where I want to be. That is the method. That is utopia, you know? But then when you land there, you realize, man, oh, okay. That was a reality check for me. Looks like you had the same experience as well.
What I learned though was amidst all this trash that's hidden, is opportunity.
Absolutely.
Right? There's a lot of opportunity.
So why did you decide to join the armed forces, the US Navy?
Actually, this has been my first job in the United States.
Really?
Yes.
So you didn't do the temp jobs and all that stuff like all of you? Okay.
Nope. So this is what happened. So I get here and living with mom in a basement, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And I said to myself, at some point in time, I got to get my mom out of here.
Yeah.
Right. But then again, I had two people to take care of back home. My fiance at the time and my young son, my infant son. And I looked around New York and I said, this is not going to cut it for me.
Right.
You know, most of the people I know, they're working, you know, they're doing a little plumbing job or a little construction job, or they're working at Costco or, you know, not that any of these things were beneath me.
Right.
But I needed something that, one, will help me take care of my family. Two, I got some benefits from it.
Right.
You know, that my family would also enjoy.
Yeah.
And I didn't particularly like New York.
Gotcha.
So I was since in Guyana, I would see the commercials, you know, the Navy, stuff like that. Right. And one day I was laying down on the bed watching TV. This was like late December, because I came mid-December. Okay. Late December, I'm watching, and I said to myself, it's
cold, right? So you're
it's bitterly cold.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah.
Bitterly cold, and wasn't accustomed to the place getting dark at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay. I hear you. Culture shock, boy.
Culture shock in full effect.
For sure, for sure.
So I said, you know what? I'm going to do this. So I went down. No, mommy came home and I said, Mommy, I want to join the Navy. And she freaked out right away.
Yeah. I can imagine, right? The first thing they're thinking of is war and they're going to lose their son, right?
You got it. So she says, you want to go to the Navy? They're going to send you to war?
Yes.
And I said, Mom, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
I said, if I am to do what I need to do,
right,
I got to do this.
So what advice would you give to young immigrants from Guyana or from the Caribbean who are in New York trying to figure out, what do I do with my life? I mean, times are different now. Yeah.
And I wanted to point that out, and you did. Times are different. The average young man or young woman that's coming now are different to me
Right.
when I came. You understand?
Yeah.
They're more Americanized, even though they're coming from Guyana.
Right.
So I don't advocate for or against.
Okay.
I give them the information.
Right.
And it's up to you to do something with that information.
With that information, absolutely.
Right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Because what has happened is a lot of young people have took the chance, joined the military, you know, whichever branch, of pick a branch.
Right.
And then they're like, this is not for me.
Mm.
The military requires discipline.
Right.
You know, it requires absolute discipline. It's going to ask things of you that you didn't even know that you would be asked.
Yeah.
You understand? On a daily basis.
And would you say that discipline, not to cut you, would you say that compared to your time and my time, there is less or more discipline among the youth in Guyana in general? Just
less.
Less. Okay.
Yes, less.
All right. And why is that? Well, why would you say that is?
What I have found, and this is just me, based on what I'm seeing. We are the generation of parents that didn't take care of the discipline part. We wanted our kids to have what we didn't have. We wanted it to be easier for them. And we created that environment without thinking this was going to be the outcome. So when I see people complaining on whether it's Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, whatever the case, oh, these kids are this, these kids are that. No, look at yourself in the mirror.
You made that choice to go into the Navy, and a few decades later, you are now retired. So congratulations on your retirement.
Thank you.
And you're welcome. Thanks for your service. Let's talk about life in the Navy, though. What were some of your biggest hurdles, and how did you overcome them?
Initially, it was the adaptation to the American culture, the American work culture, the military culture. It required some adaptation. Okay. I'll give you a funny story. So my first year on the ship, you know, in Guyana, we got Christmas, Boxing Day, and all these things, right? Me not knowing that Boxing Day is not a thing in the United States of America. Okay. So I asked my chief, I said, hey, chief, if you don't have to work the day after Christmas, do you have to be here? Because that's Boxing Day. Yeah. It didn't dawn on me that it didn't click in his head, you know. Oh, man. He's like, what Boxing Day is, right? So he was like, you'll be fine, you'll be fine, you'll be fine. And I left and I went to New York. Gotcha. Spent some time with my mother. So I'm sitting at home, I'm sitting with mommy, and the phone started ringing. And I see work. I was like, what? So the disbursing officer, that's the lady that deals with your funds that pays you. She calls, she was from Grenada. Yeah. And she said, Henry, where you there? Yeah. I said, LT Lieutenant. I said, I'm in New York. She said, New York? She said, Henry, you're supposed to be here. On the base. She said, you're supposed to be at work. So I explained to her, I said, this is a conversation that took place between me and Chief Schaffler. And this is what he said. She said, Henry, you got to be here. So immediately I had to pack me traps and head for the Greyhound station. Wow. I've been following your TikTok on Chief the Mentor on TikTok and on Instagram. And one of the topics you cover is mental health, right? Why is this topic so important and relevant to you and your followers? So a great majority of people in this world struggle with mental health on a daily basis. Some know, and they do something about it. Some know and don't do anything about it, and some don't realize what is really going on with them. And then you have everything else that happens, whether you're talking about suicide, people committing crimes, whatever the case it may be, right? Yep. But for me personally, serving in the military, serving with men and women who have had to deal with it on a daily basis and seeing the struggles, seeing how it has torn families apart, you know, something needs to be done. And I figure, well, if I can be part of the solution,
right,
you know, putting the message out there, encouraging people to take care of yourself, take care of your mental health.
right,
You know, because even if I touch one person per day,
right,
I would have done my job.
there you somebody who's watching the show right now who is saying, you know what, they're going through some stuff, but something is preventing them from taking that step of getting help.
The first thing is acknowledging that you got an issue.
Okay.
First step. It's just like an alcoholic, you gotta acknowledge that you have an issue.
Right.
But if you habitually abuse drugs, you gotta admit that you have a problem. It's taking responsibility. You understand?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And this is 2022. We can no longer let the stigma of you're mad.
Yeah.
You know, this from home that people think, okay, if you're taking care of your mental health, you're soft.
Right.
No, it has nothing to do with being soft. Not taking care of your mental health is the reason why people are walking the streets naked. Right. Not taking care of your mental health is why young kids are ending up in the jails. Not
right.
taking care of your mental health is what's breaking up families.
Right.
You understand?
And in Guyana, there's a lot of high rate. Guyana has the highest rate of suicide.
Yeah, I was just about to get to that. Not taking care of your mental health is why we have one of the highest suicide rates in the world. Now,
cuz you have had some personal tragedies in your life, the tragic losses of your first wife at a young age, and your young cousins in Guyana, the Henry brothers, cousins, Joel and Isaiah. First of all, how are your children doing? And secondly, what did you learn about yourself as you navigated the grief and anguish of these tragedies and somehow found the strength to move on?
The kids are still dealing with it. Put it that way.
I can imagine, yeah.
And one of the reasons, they're like one of the reasons why I advocate for mental health so much. Seeing what they go through on a daily basis. I'm gonna be very transparent here. Both of my kids have had short stints in psychiatric facilities because of it. The reason why I'm saying this is because I want people to understand that you're not just gonna overcome whatever you're feeling by yourself.
You need help. Takes a village.
Yeah. You understand? It takes a village. There's a reason why they say it takes a village. You understand? The kids, in many ways, they're too proud to let us, because I used to take them to counseling all the time, right? Yeah. The girl, she literally just shut down.
Oh man.
Just shut down, wouldn't talk. The big boy, with him, everything was outward. Anger.
Okay.
Destroying stuff. Pick a thing.
Oh man.
He was doing it. And it was all a cry for help.
Yeah. Let's talk about your mentorship and coaching post-retirement track that you're on right now. What inspired you to pursue those paths on social media in particular?
So when I was a young kid in New Amsterdam Multilateral,
right,
I had two teachers, right? One told me I could, one told me I couldn't.
Interesting.
Yeah. When I came to the Navy, initially my first enlistment, I had two chiefs. One told me I couldn't, one told me I could, one told me I couldn't. Those two chiefs, right? Okay. What I learned is everybody that you're leading requires a different leadership style. You understand? Everybody that you're leading, whatever environment you're in, working environment that you're in, every employee or every person that you're in charge of requires a different leadership style.
Right.
You can't use a paintbrush and just, okay, this is how I do it. You know.
I agreed.
I had one chief that shunned me to the side and he just didn't give a damn because I had gotten to the realization, okay, I wasn't fulfilling my potential, right? I wasn't doing what I needed to be doing. And he was like, you know what? To hell with this dude. I don't care. Then I had another chief came and he said, okay, this is what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to empower you.
Right.
I'm going to give you one of the biggest programs to run in our job, in our MOS.
Right.
That job entails me taking care of making sure that the commanding officer doesn't get fired. Let's put it that way.
MOS means?
Your specialty.
MOS. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it's essentially a specialty, the job that you were trained to do in the military.
Okay.
Right? So when he did that, what I saw was, okay, here's a man that trusts me enough. No matter how much I transgressed before, he trusted me enough to do this job.
Let's talk about your new segment on the Karna, right, which starts on April 16th. Build a Better You. The acronym is BABY, baby. What can Karna fans expect from this series?
A lot of, I don't like to use the word motivation.
Okay.
Because I think motivation is like it's like a 5-hour energy drink.
Okay.
Right? Today you got it, and then tomorrow you just crash.
Right.
You understand? This is why a lot of times when people say, oh, I'm not motivated, I wonder why. Because motivation is it's when the adrenaline is going and you're ready and you're going. But anyways, we're gonna nurture this on the Karna. We're gonna nurture this baby. Let's put it this way.
Okay.
All right. We are going to nurture this baby until it gets to adulthood.
So this baby is not necessarily a young person. It could be a young or an old person.
Exactly.
Right? Is that thing, that quality in you that needs development? Okay.
Yes. We are going to nurture this baby. That's what them banana and them being on the Karna can expect.
Yeah, man.
We're going to nurture this baby.
Absolutely. Let's switch gears to entrepreneurship and your online business venture, Full Effect Shop. Tell us about your vision for the brand, your target customers, and the keys to success for this venture.
So, first and foremost, let me say the brainchild behind Full Effect is my wife, Latoya. Sorry, yeah. So, a couple of years ago, we were thinking, hey, man, you're going to be retiring pretty soon.
Right.
What's next? She said, we got to have something new. Now, she's into fitness. Right.
Yep.
And part of the reason is because of mental health. You understand? Her story is kind of similar to mine. She had an incident where she it's out there.
Right.
Yeah, she
I mean, you don't have to reveal, what you got, don't want to, but just feel comfortable, saying that she went through something.
Yeah, she went through something similar to me.
Gotcha.
All right? And this is one of her outlets. So putting the Full Effect brand out there is part of the story. You understand? That's part of the story. That's part of the vehicle of helping people, because what we are doing is providing athletic wear,
right,
at a more affordable price.
Yeah.
We understand that people are going through things, and pricing can be one of the problems. We can't add a problem to it.
Gotcha.
You understand? So here we are, Full Effect. And business is tough. If anybody out there is thinking that you just set up your stuff and you whether you're doing online or you got brick and mortar or whatever, business is tough. You got to be willing to put in the hard yards.
Yes.
you know, as one, I think it was Les Brown that said, it's a lot of hard work and heart work.
Yep.
You understand?
Absolutely.
There's a lot of hard work and hard work. So you, when people are sleeping and people are comfortable, you're working.
You're working. Touched on it, who are thinking of starting something or who are already in a web-based business. What specific advice do you have for them?
Be willing to go through the discomforts now.
Okay.
Because that will determine your comforts 10 years from now.
Gotcha.
Meaning, be willing to work hard now. Nothing is an overnight success. Your business is not going to, overnight success in whether it's web-based business or, like I said, brick and mortar, is 6 years, 10 years, 15 years. That's what overnight success looks like.
Right.
So be willing when you only have one customer to tough it out.
Right.
When you have 10, 15, 20 per day, enjoy it.
Right. Absolutely.
But you have to be willing on those days when you don't, when you look at your website, or you sitting in your store and you haven't had any customers. Right. You have to be willing to say, you know what, I will be back tomorrow again.
So to wrap things up, Brother Kev, again, thank you for being on the show. How can fans of the Karna contact, follow, and support your ventures in online business?
We are on Facebook at Full Effect. Yeah. We are on Instagram. Our Instagram handle is Full Effect Shop. Full Effect Shop. Yeah, and the regular website, www.fulleffectshop. Fulleffect.shop. Sorry, www.fulleffect.shop. Okay, gotcha. Right? That's how you can support us or get in contact with us. Absolutely. If you reach out to us, if you have questions, we pretty much respond right away because we're in the technology age and we both of us have our phones in our hands. Yep. So someone, either me or my wife, we respond right away. And then you're retired, so all you got is time. I got some time. I can relate. I am reclaiming my time. There you go. There you go. Well, my cuz, thank you so much for your time. Congratulations once again on your retirement. Congratulations on your business ventures and on your ventures as a coach and as a mentor. I am personally very proud of you because I've seen you from the time you were this high to now, right? And I wish you nothing but success in your personal life and your post-retirement ventures. So thank you for being on the show, and good luck to you, your wife, and your family. And I pray that the kids are in a better place, right? It's a struggle, but I think that they're going to be all right. Right. So they with time. Yes, sir. With time and some work, they will be all right. It's been a pleasure. Yeah, man. It's been an absolute pleasure. It's always a pleasure catching up with you. Yes, sir. The conversation is always great. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what's up. All right. So peace and blessings to you. One love.